Hello my beautiful friends, welcome to my channel. If we haven't connected before, my name is Sarah and my channel is all about helping you to better your lives and step into the best version of yourselves and get rid of those blocks that are holding you back from living the life that you really want to live. And I come from this place where I've had to learn all this stuff the really slow way. And so I want to give you my knowledge, what I've learnt from my own personal experience, from the many courses, the many teachings that I have gone through to get to this place in my life and share them. So, yeah, you can have the best life ever. And today I want to talk to you about how confidence can really diminish those weight issues that you may be carrying around. For myself, this was a huge journey which I have battled pretty much from the age of 8 years old until very recently, now in my mid-50s. And finally I am set free and I don't worry about what I eat all the time and, have to balance it out with lots of exercise and feel guilt and shame when I, don't do enough exercise or I eat that thing that really didn't help me. And yo-yo up and down with my weight and go on every diet and be such a bore when I went out for dinner with people, always or lunch or what have you, and, choosing the the thing on the menu that really had the least calories instead of just enjoying myself and having the joy in food. And so what I found on my journey, which took a long time, but it was that the more I developed my confidence, my self-esteem, the more work I did on myself, the less issues I had with food and with my weight, and also the less issues I had with everything else in my life. My relationships got better, my relationship with money got better. I stepped into the dreams that I had only dreamed about. I just had more confidence to back myself in every area of my life. I've got better boundaries now. I don't suffer from confidence issues and anxiety like I used to constantly. I know my own self-worth, I know my own value, and when we do the inner work to look deep inside and see, what the stories are, what the narratives are about ourselves that have been given to us or that we've made up about ourselves, that they're not actually true, and rewire our brain to think something differently, guess what? The weight issues actually go away. So that's what I have found through the work that I've done. So, my story began when I was about 8 years old, and I started to get a little bit podgy. My mum always was on a diet, had her own weight issues, and so I guess she saw me, I was the eldest in the family, getting a bit tubby, and, she didn't want me to be the fat kid. So she did what she thought was best, which was to encourage me to lose weight. So, she made the whole family matching tracksuits, and we went as a family, and we went down to the local park, and my dad would make me run around the park and run, and I signed me up for athletics and swimming club, and I was so not competitive, and so I found all this quite stressful, and of course formed a belief system that I was not good enough. I've never been competitive. I wonder whether that is about a fear of failure, and maybe it is. It was easier not to be competitive, but I'm not saying everyone that's competitive has not got that fear. Sometimes maybe they're trying to prove themselves through being competitive. Who knows? But what I really wanted to talk about was, so I would be put into these situations that didn't bring me joy. I was all about joy. I was all about being happy, and these things did not make me happy. But I formed the opinion that I was not. I was unattractive. I was fat. Compared myself to, that was where my journey of comparing myself to everybody came about. And so, this carried on until when I was in my teenage years. I kind of went up and down in weight as I grew. I out and then grew up. There were times I was very thin, but of course I never felt good even when I was thin, because I had this underlying story going on in my head. And when I got to be about 17, 18, maybe I was even a bit younger, about 17 or 18, I put on quite a lot of weight, and I really, really was at my lowest point, really. And I was there till I was about 21 and maybe 22. And, you know, people made derogatory comments about my weight, just reinforcing how I already felt about myself, that I was unattractive, ugly, did not feel good in my skin at all, felt shy, my confidence really plummeted even more so than it already was, had more anxiety issues than I'd had even as a child. I was very anxious right through my life. And I just decided one day I didn't want to be the fat kid anymore, the fat person. So I started getting really, all that eating disorder stuff. I just saw myself as fat even when I wasn't. And just controlled everything that I ate, balanced it out with exercise and over-exercising. I never got bulimic. I was never throwing up, or I didn't get anorexic or so, but it definitely, I probably spent a good 50% of my day, for a majority of my life, thinking about food and berating myself about food, or how I was going to burn off calories, or what diet I was going to be on, or how I was going to lose those extra 5 kgs. And then I just started to work on myself. And once I started working on myself and really looking inward and getting to the core of what was going on for me, which I discovered was this core belief that I was not good enough, I was not worthy, I was not lovable. And when I started working on that and rewiring my brain through meditation, through the latest neuroscience, I studied with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and spent a lot of time doing different courses, learning about how the brain works, and started to rewire my brain. And slowly my confidence came up. I mean, even, I don't know, beginning of this year, it was a big deal for me to come and make videos and put them on YouTube. Like, I've had to go through a lot to get to where I am now. But now I feel in a place where I feel that I know enough, that I've got enough confidence, and that I really want to help people not have to take all the time and go through all the struggles that I've gone through to get to a place to feel good in their own skin, because it's kind of sad. So I really encourage you to be doing the work, looking at what your belief systems are, digging deep, doing inner child work, going to healers, doing some meditation. There's so much you can do on yourself. Reading the books, being in the present moment, practicing mindfulness, and really accepting who you are for where you're at right now, and really getting into that subconscious mind. Rapid transformational work is really good. That's a deep form of hypnosis. I did that as well. I even went back and did a lot of past life ancestral healing. I remember my grandmother, when she was in her 80s, asking me if her bum looked big in her pants that she was wearing. It's actually a generational thing in our family. So when you start looking back, then you can, heal those things and go forward. So I really encourage you to do that. And thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I just got a bulldog wandering past on the way through. I'm building my house out the front, which was a dream. So I'll talk to you about that in another episode. But I really encourage you to do the inner work. Look within. Boost your confidence. When you're doing the inner work, you'll get more confidence in yourself. You'll believe in yourself. You'll back yourself. And then guess what? The weight issues, the money issues, the relationship issues, they all start to drop away because you value yourself. So namaste, much love, and I'll catch you next time.